Alright folks, Virginia's Idiot, we are back. Look at the case on Facebook. Mysteries of the Past, Shear, Murder. Let's head on to chapter number 3. Painful grief seems to be central to this case. Ace, broken hearts are a powerful motive for murder. Ace had just discovered Max changed his last will and testament. He altered the beneficiaries of his estate just 2 days before he was killed. My word, is it possible the victim somehow feared for his life? Or did the killer discover Poe's plans and murder him before he could change his will? Quite right, Ace. Speculation gets us nowhere. Further investigation will. Can I suggest we return to the victim's home? Then we are in agreement. Back to the scene of the crime. Let us leave no stone unturned. Whoa. That's kind of cool. I mean, not that he died, but cool if they did the, oh, they're called stained glass paintings, or stained glass windows. Here's this. The locket's gotta be a clue too. Where's the locket? Nice, got a star. Well, that appears to be one of the victim's cravasse, Ace. I wonder what that red powder is. We better collect some to find out. And that locket with Valeria's photo, it seems to have been stomped on. Perhaps you can uncover a clue from that faded area. But this note is most curious, Ace. I know what you did. The message was written by the victim on a stationery, but to whom, and why had it not been sent? The symbols below the note might give us an answer. You should be able to make quick work of those, Ace. I know what you did. Told you, I think somebody killed his wife. And he found out, and they killed him for that. Capital effort. Collect that red powder from the victim's cravat. Regretfully, the microscope remains a mystery to me, Ace. I'll defer to your expertise to find out what we're dealing with. I was gonna say, I have so many stars. We're gonna have to start doing a lot of like additional investigation work. Alright, so we have 1, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 6, 2, 1, 8. So 9, 9, 4, 3, 7. You deciphered a series of numbers, Ace. Mr. Poe must have been confident the recipient of this note would understand them, but I clearly do not. Although Poe never sent this note, we ought to find out the target of his accusation. Let's get those numbers to Miss Holloway. To my darling brother Vincent. This log belongs to Vincent Lorenzo. Valerie's brother said he was never here, Ace. He's clearly lying to us. It's time Mr. Lorenzo started telling us the truth. Well, that sample you collect from the victim's cravat is a red cosmetic, or rouge to be more precise. I'm certain Viola would not contradict me when I say that many of Concordia's most refined ladies are using it. And you are right, this particular shade resembles the color Sheila Black is wearing. A lot can be inferred from finding a woman's makeup on a man's collar, so to speak. So we should talk to Miss Black. It's not a tie, it's like a collar. Interesting. Mr. Lorenzo, you claim you didn't visit your brother-in-law. However, this locket of yours tells a very different story. Oh, man, I won't deny it. I did see that venomous viper. I took a hansom cab straight to his home the instant I stepped off that ship. Well, what did you have against the victim? There's only one thing responsible for Valeria's death, and it's Maximilian Poe. It was all his fault, no matter what anyone says. All that time she was sick, he never told us what was happening. He only wrote to us after she was gone. He should have looked after her, or sent her home to her family where she belonged. I didn't murder that man, but I'm glad that he's dead. Maybe he didn't murder him. Oh, Senior Trooper Ace, I was just practicing my penmanship. How can I be of service? Excuse us for being discreet, but we found your makeup on the victim's clothing. Oh, good gracious, how embarrassing. Maximilian and I agreed we would forget about that unfortunate incident. I was always encouraging Max to stop moping, so I hired a handsome cab and took him to a ball. When I leaned over to kiss him, he mistook my intentions and pulled away, so I abruptly fell on him. I'm actually surprised you didn't find mothball flakes instead of makeup. I did get a dress out of storage, especially for the occasion, and it reeked of the things. When it never went further than that, pardon my boldness, but hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, I never. How dare you suggest such a thing? I would never do anything to harm Maximilian or to jeopardize our friendship. Now get out. She could definitely be it. Because he liked the maid. I'm gonna speed this up. I have a work function that I gotta go to later today, so blimey, Ace. Do I have a lot to tell you about those numbers you sent me? This series of digits corresponds to a new library classification. It was recently developed by a friend of mine, Melvin Dewey. He even asked me to contribute to his research, and I was very flattered. The system organizes all publications in any given library by field of study such as philosophy, science, or in the case of this number, literature. I shan't go into detail, but suffice it to say, these numbers reference a book in the Concordia Public Library, an English novel titled The Monk, written by Matthew Gregory Lewis. It's the rather unsavory tale of a priest whose personal vices lead him to commit murder. A story about a murderous priest. That makes the victim's message all the more foreboding. Could this note have been intended for Father Donovan? Perhaps Mr. Poe knew something darker about his past. Let's push further investigation, Ace. The Dewey Decimal System. Father Donovan, I want to speak to you about the rather inflammatory missive. Maximilian Poe is accusing you of... Oh, saints deliver us. I thought that was all behind me. One afternoon in a hansom cab from his home, Maximilian confronted me saying he heard rumors about my past, that I had somehow been involved in criminal activity. And? Was he right? Are you hiding something, Father? You expect me to tell you? My past sins are nobody's business. They are between myself and God. I've been forgiven. But if it turns out you condemn Maximilian Poe to a permanent vow of silence, Father, your past sins are not very much our business. And let me assure you, the law is not as forgiving as your God. With the heart of every murder, motive and opportunity, Ace, and our growing list of suspects have both. Father Donovan is a man of the cloth, but the victim knew something about a darker past. Could the Reverend have taken extreme measures to hide it? And Vincent Lorenzo blamed Maximilian Poe for Valerie's death. Perhaps his journey of grief was, in fact, a voyage of revenge. Well, if we were to work out which of this motley crew of suspects is the killer, we need more clues, and you're right, Ace. We know the killer was at the church. Maximilian's murder may well have sought absolution before God's altar, but there's no rest for the wicked. We mustn't delay. Justice awaits. The final clues. The final 9 and 15 hours. So what have we here? Offerings box. Oh, that's an offering box. Alright. Had the clues too. Be astute, Ace. If Magdalene Killer was going to discard evidence here, that offering box would be a good place. By all means, see what you can find. That signet ring it must be one of the killer stole from the victim. A damning clue. The suspect of that black substance should tell us more about Maximilian's murder. The net is slowly closing on our killer, Ace. It's time to pull it shut. Alright, so what we got here? Nice. It's like the fastest I've ever done one. They didn't even know what to do. No time to waste, Ace. Let's see what Violet can make of this black liquid you found in the victim's ring. What? One could easily be fooled into thinking that gardening glove was simply a donation to the church. If it wasn't for that blood stain, that might be Mr. Poe's blood. If so, this glove was left here by his killer, and Violet should take a look at it. Absolutely certain. Thought it was a hand. That was going to throw me off. Anyways, guys, we've got 15 hours. I'm going to grab some stars. I'll see you guys right back. This is Pitching Ace 88. Au revoir. Alright, folks, Pitching Ace 88, we are back on Criminal Case on Facebook. Your hunch is correct, Ace. The blood type on this glove matches your victim, so you can be certain it was discarded by the killer. Well, this glove would have been easily accessible on the victim's terrace, and it explains why the handles on the murder weapon were spotless. If I may continue, Isaac, the blood on the outside of the glove isn't nearly as important as what I found on the inside. Deep in one of the fingers of the glove, I found a number of blue fibers torn from a piece of cloth. It involved some delicate puzzle work, but when the threads were laid side by side under my microscope, a pattern emerged. These fibers came from a blue paisley garment. Oh, the killer shan't be too hard to spot, Ace. They're wearing blue paisley. I actually didn't realize that there was someone wearing something like that, so we'll find out pretty soon. In the old age, black was not counted fair, or if it were, it bore not beauty's name. Viola, we really must know about that black liquid. But now is black beauty's successive heir beauty slandered with a... Viola, please, the sample. Sorry, Ace, the black substance on the victim's ring inspired me to brush up on my Shakespearean sonnets. The liquid contains, among other elements, a combination of gallic and acidic dyes. In these concentrations, I've determined the sample is black hair dye. What could show, Ace? Given the hair dye was found on the ring stolen from the victim, we can deduce that regardless of their natural color, the hunt is on for a killer with black hair. Well, your case against Maximilian's killer is ironclad, Ace. It's time we brought them to justice with the full force of the law. So black hair, I'm thinking that it was the victim's wife's brother. Am I right? Oh, it's gonna be you. Yep. They were more than friends. Sheila Black, replacing you under arrest for the murder of Maximilian Poe. Oh, good heavens, me? Murder Max? Why on earth would I kill my dearest friend? Senior Trooper Ace will ask the questions, like how the victim's blood got onto your handsome cab ticket. Handsome cabs? I'm certainly not the only one in Concordia who uses those. What about the gardening glove you wore during the murder? We found a piece of your paisley garment inside it. Gardening gloves? How wretched. I wouldn't dream of soiling my hands with such things. Out with the truth. We know you stole the victim's signet ring. Your black hair dye left a stain on it. Oh, blast it, that damn ring. I admit it, I did kill Max, but he left me no choice. What do you mean he left you no choice? Well, I loved Max for many years, even before I married Valeria. I was saddened when Valeria died, naturally, but I thought this was my chance. Max and I could finally be together. You can imagine my surprise and humiliation when he refused my advances. Worse still, I learned he was developing an interest in that kitchen hand of his, whatever her name is. Can you imagine? I thought about disposing of her, but murdering that grimy little servant girl wouldn't achieve nothing. In time, Max would have fallen for somebody else. It was clear he would never have feelings for me, and if he couldn't have them, nobody could. I've had enough drama for one day. I think you should leave. Well, the only place we're going, Miss Black, is escorting you to prison. You are under arrest for the murder of Maximilian Poe. Wait, arresting me like a common criminal? Well, I never. Moron. Not another one of these. Sheila Black, you stand before this court charged with the murder of your closest friend, Maximilian Poe. How do you plead? I'm not guilty, obviously. My dear Max being with anyone other than me would be the real injustice. Everyone thinks they understand justice. Perhaps you'd like to sit up here and be the judge. Have you anything to say for yourself? I knew Max better than anyone. He deserved to be with me and no one else. You're not as special as you might think, Miss Black. You're nothing but a murderer, a common criminal. And given your lack of remorse, I'm sentencing you to life in prison. Common criminal? Well, I never. Do you have any idea who you're speaking to? I am Sheila Margaret Black, and I'm not accustomed to being spoken to thusly. Well, you better start getting accustomed to it. You're going away for a long time, and I'm going home. Well, in cases like these that truly defy logic, Ace, sometimes our closest friend turns out to be our worst enemy. Bontemps is right, Ace. You can't be too careful you keep company with nowadays, but top job for closing this case. The commissioner's impressed you handled his specific request so efficiently. That ought to keep him off my back for another day. Good show. Ace makes a compelling argument, Chief. This case has raised some serious questions about Father Donovan's past. This is no time to rest on our laurels, Ace. Our job is clearly not finished. We will find out more about that in the additional investigation. I will see you guys then. This has been Pitching Ace 88. Over and out.